Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto. I am in such a good mood today after seeing this pullback in the crypto market. I hope all the wolves out there bought up that dip, not financial advice. I didn't want to make a video about this dude Elon, but after reading this tweet, I could not help myself. I needed to decode it. So today's video will be dedicated to my least favorite Jesuit coverboy shill, Elon Musk. It's going to be a very big red pill, so grab yourself a cup of water so you could swallow this. And if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with the esoteric science of Gematria Numerology and Astrology to understand these markets. If you haven't already subscribed and you like what we're doing here, feel free to subscribe. Give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. Also though, for those of you who want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course. There's a promo code in the pinned comment below with instructions to get lifetime access to the course with a discount. My email's in the description box to get in contact with me for access. Also, tonight I will be doing a live stream for the Mastermind community members on Patreon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's 6 p.m. New York time. It will be an AMA, Ask Me Anything, and I'll run for about one hour or so, try to keep it about an hour. And I'll be saving the live stream for those Patreon supporters who missed it and couldn't attend the AMA. Again, it will be a private live stream for Mastermind community members. If you'd like to join, the link to the Patreon is in the description. I plan on also doing some live streams maybe once a week for YouTube. We'll see how that goes, but until then, let's take the red pill. So before I even get going on this decode, I just want to point out one thing. This right here is Elon Musk's birthday. And this is today. This is a date that I think will be critical for this guy. The reason is because this 5/27 is coming up very soon, and it will be 333 days since his last birthday. And this guy is attached to the number 33 like no else. It is insane how this number keeps showing up with this guy. So pay attention to this date, save it. It might be good, it might be bad, you never know. This is like the New World Order's #1 cover boy. So, you know, you guys have seen it time and time again with Doge, and now you're seeing it go on with Bitcoin. And let's just get into this. So first things first, this date yesterday, I was going over 5/12, yesterday's date, and this is Rosh Hashanah, the Hebrew New Year, 9/20/2020, and this was 33 weeks and 3 days apart. And the reason I brought this up in yesterday's video is because ETH for Ethereum, the Ethereum ticker, equals 33 in Gematria, and it was hitting a new all-time high. And then out of nowhere, the whole market basically collapsed on the same day as ETH hitting that all-time high, which was the 33rd week and 3rd day since the Hebrew New Year. And again, they give us the Gregorian calendar, the scam calendar, for us, for regular people to play around with. And they like to play around with the Hebrew calendar. So for today's video, we're going to focus on two key numbers. One will be the 33 later on in the video, and the initial number we're going to go over is 58. And it seems like a random number, but you're going to see how important that number is as we go through this decode. First things first, today's date being yesterday's date when this all went down, May for 5 plus 12 for the date plus 20 plus 21, and we're getting 58. So this is very crucial for everyone to understand. 58 is what we will keep in our heads for the rest of this decode. Let's go to this tweet. So what happened here in this tweet, we have the title, Tesla and Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and type that in. And of course, we're getting the 58. So Tesla and Bitcoin is the name of this tweet, and then it was a picture where he goes on with his ramblings about energy and etc. And this comes back to the 58, just like the date that it happened on, right? So the title of the tweet, Tesla and Bitcoin equals 58. And who wrote the tweet? Well, his name is Elon Reeve Musk with the 58 in Chaldean. Very crucial. And what is Elon Musk a member of? The New World Order. 58. And what is the agenda that Elon Musk and the New World Order is pushing? The Green New Deal. 58. And in this Green New Deal, it is all about the environment with the 58. And they're blaming all of this on emissions, again, with the 58. And of course, at the end of this tweet, he finishes it off mentioning other cryptocurrencies, and everyone is immediately assuming that other crypto will be XRP, again with the 58. Is this by accident, guys? Is this a mistake? So, it's almost exhausting sometimes when you do these decodes and they're so evil and they're tied to these people that clearly a lot of people lose their focus on. They think that they're doing good things, they think that they're doing bad things, but they disregard that these people are famous. And if you're famous, you're part of the brotherhood, you're part of the New World Order. They don't allow random people to be part of this show. Period. So all of this is about BTC is bad for climate. It's like yellow guy bad, right? Orange guy bad. BTC is bad for climate, 58. Of course, you have the 72 and the 117 coming back to Bitcoin, right? So those of you that have seen me do lots of decodes, I mean, it's been a thing where we find these numbers and it's just so in our face, and it almost hurts to have to tell people who mean well who their heroes really are and aren't. And people like Elon Musk, man, it's such a shame. It's such a shame that so many people fall for this guy. But anyways, let's get back to the number 33 and climate agenda. So of course, everything that these lizards are worrying about is sustainability. The word sustainable equaling 33, and that's what this was about, Brought it up right here, sustainable energy. And this is part of this green push, this push towards basically a carbon tax and putting everyone in this, insane asylum of reality where these people who've systematically destroyed our planet, who've literally destroyed all the soil, and then they have an agenda to go leave and live on another planet. Now they all of a sudden give a shit about our Earth? Like, does anyone not see the problem here? This guy's logo of his Twitter is the phallus of Osiris. It's the obelisk. It's a space shuttle. It's fake. It's bullshit. It's not real. Anyways, purchase. That's what this is all about. This is all about suspending vehicle purchases, coming back to the 33 in Chaldean. And the company that this is going on with is Tesla, of course, with the 33. And the Tesla logo is literally a Baphomet skull. It's the head of Baphomet. Again, this is what they worship. The head of Baphomet is the Tesla logo. As above, so below, with two children worshiping it. This is legit right here, what these guys are about. The pentagram on his forehead. Of course, pentagram equals 33. And this is all about pushing the AI agenda. Seriously, that's what all of this is eventually about. It's about replacing humans from driving cars, driving trucks, having self-driving delivery people. Instead of ordering a pizza from Domino's and a person brings it to you, a self-driving car will bring it to you. Instead of your mail being delivered to your mailbox by a person, by a mailman, it'll be delivered by a drone. The World Economic Forum showed you this. They said in the Great Reset, In the future, you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's what they said. That's what Elon Musk is behind, everyone. He is behind that shit. And that's why he operates Neuralink. That's one of his companies. So this guy gets up on interviews and tells everyone that once you plug in AI into the limbic system, that's where the game ends for humanity. But meanwhile, he's creating Neuralink. Think about this, everyone. Take a second to just think about what this guy's role is here. Anyways, let's move on. I'm going to do a little bit of TA, and then after we do this TA, I'm going to prepare myself for tonight's live stream. I'm really excited to hang out with all the enlightened individuals who aren't falling for this bullshit about Elon Musk. So let's get into the technicals first. Bitcoin and the weekly chart, we see the 21, the orange line, and how we finally back tested it for the first time in around 200 days. It's been about 220 days since we back tested that. And of course, it's around 33 weeks since the back test. So this is classic, guys. They love playing these numbers on us. It's amazing. And of course, during that back test where we got to the 21, that was around Rosh Hashanah, right? So it was right around that Hebrew New Year. It was one of the best times to buy any crypto. And again, this dip might be the best time to enter and buy any crypto. We never know. We never know how this can go. Again, we're in the middle of a bull run. But this pullback to the 21, if anyone goes back and watches my videos from March, if you were part of my mastermind as early as back here in November when I started my course, you would know that I've been talking about this 21 EMA, exponential moving average on the weekly, to be back tested. And it took so long for us to back test. I even have a video sometime in April where I was talking about, hey, can you guys anticipate a backtest of this 21? And if so, will you be ready to buy that dip? Because back in the previous cycle, especially if I go to the logarithmic chart, you can see this. This backtest of the 21 was happening time and time again. So essentially right here, after this big June crash down into August, we saw multiple backtests of that 21 before we made a new all-time high. And assuming that this is the September timeframe, just humor me here. This would be September of 2020. This would be our first big retest of the 21, and we'll just go off the 21 and pull it to the top and see how much this price went up. 3,500% since the first official backtest after a really long, arduous sideways range on top of the 21. And you could call this dip right here akin to the C-scam crash back in March last year. And you could see if I zoom out, it has a very similar pattern. Where down here, you have the first dip, which was similar to down here. And then you have this second dip, which is similar to here, a V-shaped recovery, pump up really quickly, back test the 21 EMA, and then just kept it moving. And of course, we had a big pump up, an exuberant move, pull back to the 21. So I'm considering this time right here in August 2016, similar to what we just saw here from a technical perspective when you look at all things considered. So this was healthy. This was needed. And if you see how this wick right here in August came way below the 21, that scared the shit out of people. So could that happen today into next week? Yes, absolutely. This wick down can go way deeper for us. And that can go as low as maybe 40,000, 39,000, and we'll get into that in a second. So I just want to let you know this backtest of the 21 has been something we've been anticipating for a long time. We're finally getting it. And of course, they're saying Elon Musk caused it. Like, are you kidding? Are you serious? Elon doesn't do shit. He has a handler who runs his Twitter account, just like Donald Trump did, just like they all do. Go to Ellen DeGeneres' Twitter. Go to Ellen DeGeneres' Instagram. Go to any of these famous people's Instagrams. They don't run anything they do for the public eye. They have a handler who takes care of everything. And when these guys aren't out in public, they're getting MK Ultra'd to their like the deepest layers of their subconscious. They are drones. That's why when you listen to Elon Musk talk in public, he slurs and stutters and he's so incoherent. It's because he's not even controlling his own thoughts. MK Ultra has completely dictated his subconscious. So he needs to be having a really good day. He has to be really sharp to be able to speak coherently. And you can see that in that's why when he talks he's always snarky and shaking his head around, and now he's coming out of nowhere talking about it's all about like a anyways, I don't care anymore about him. I'll stop talking about him now because he's irrelevant. And if you think what he does matters, this isn't the right channel for you. Just put it like that. Anyways, so this was the last back test we got of the 21. Then we have recently tested it. And typically after we back test this, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes 5 weeks, to be seeing new highs. And judging by if I put my cursor right here, you can see how strong of a resistance the 59,000 level is. If I was to put my cursor from here about, let's just say 5 weeks into the future, we're looking about June 14th to be expecting new highs. And again, that's not what I'm saying will happen. That is just technically what happens from the past of retesting this 21 EMA. So, do we still have a lot of bull run to go? Yes, I believe we do. The reason I believe we do is because we have infinite printing by the Federal Reserve. They're causing psyop after psyop with gas shortages and food shortages and left and right. It's like no matter where you turn your head, there's a new thing to be, shifting people's focus onto. People lose so much of their life sitting around looking at tweets from famous people. It's like, it's pretty fucked up. So, there's another thing I want to get into with Bitcoin that has a lot of significance, and it's this fractal that we saw back here from 42,000 down to this double bottom area we've seen. And we could be playing out a similar scenario, and I'll show you by using the Fibonacci retracement. So you see this big sell-off dip right here. I'm going to pull up the fib to match that. So we go from the previous high around 42,000, again 42 having a very big significance in the New World Order, and then it pulls back to this wick right here. You see it moves up into the golden pocket, gets rejected, and then pulls back and creates a lower low. So this right here, this big red death candle, might be what we just expected. What we just experienced. And you see how right here we have a big wick down to the downside, and then it gets bought up. I'm not saying we will get bought up, but notice where we see resistance. If you look at where my cursor is, the 236 fib. So when the 236 Fibonacci cannot become a support, it becomes a resistance. So what's going on now? We pumped, and then we see resistance right at the 236 fib. It wicked a little bit higher, but since then it's gotten rejected. So what could happen here? We could actually see, look at all these candles. Sorry to jump around, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles straight, a full week straight of pumping up into this 236, getting rejected. And then finally, when we flipped the 236 and the 21-day moving average, that combination of flipping the 236 plus the 21 EMA became a new high. So that could be our call. We're just waiting for this 21 to find stability. We can play below this 236 for maybe another week or so, flip the 236, flip the 21 day, and then keep it moving. That is what I anticipate, but it could take longer than everyone thinks. And the reason why it could take longer is because of all the other things going on in our economy right now. There's a lot going on right now behind the scenes. And this week is tax week, tax deadline week. So there's so much last minute bullshit these elites are going to pull on people. It's what they do best. So with that being said, let's get into the XRP TA. There's a little bit to touch on with this. What we were talking about yesterday was this pattern right here. And as you can see, this is on a logarithmic chart, but right here, there was, let me close the 21 out. You can see the start of this uptrending support line had 1, 2 touches, 3 touches, 4 touches, and then right now today we're actually below it, but we're seeing that we're basically trading at that level. And I was saying watch out for a retest of the 236. And look at this, we're within we got within 4 pennies, literally. but within 4 pennies of that call, we touched down. So does XRP have room to the downside? Absolutely. It could still pull off, go lower than the 236, and that would be signified by the 55 EMA, which actually might be catching up. So you see this 55 EMA, that's a textbook area of support for any altcoin on a daily chart, and we haven't even backtested that yet. So XRP is actually holding very strong right now. It hasn't backtested the 236 and it hasn't backtested the 55. But I do want to say that a lot of people are getting like overly bearish on Bitcoin and saying how bad Bitcoin's performing. But let's just check something out real quick. If you take the high to the swing low, you're looking at 38.9% drop from the current yearly high to that swing low that we're seeing today. Okay, this is pretty interesting to look at. Now let's go from this swing high right here of the all-time high down to what we're seeing right now. It's 30%. Okay, so from buying at the all-time high of Bitcoin, you're at less of a loss than buying at the all-time high of XRP. But here's an even more important thing to take note of. Look at where the Bitcoin price is compared to its previous all-time high. I mean, it's like crazy looking. That's the previous all-time high, everyone. So the Bitcoin price from the previous all-time high to where it is today is up 150%, and up from the bottom of the COVID crash, which was around 4,000, up to where we are today is 1,100% up. Now let's look at XRP from the bottom crash, around 11 cents. Up, we're looking at 1,000%. So that's the best buying opportunity we've gotten for both Bitcoin and XRP, and technically by buying at the bottoms, you're up more, and then historically from the all-time high, the price of XRP is down 60%. So just take into consideration that XRP, I'm not saying this to be negative about XRP, I'm saying XRP is still very undervalued comparatively. So although this is a buying opportunity, where you have your money parked would have been better off in Bitcoin than XRP from a long-term time horizon. The gains were better, the pullbacks are better, the previous buying at the bull market top compared to today is better. So XRP is lagging. Ethereum is also lagging comparatively to Bitcoin from the all-time high to where we are today. Technically, ETH should be 4 to 6 times higher than it is based off its previous all-time high comparatively to Bitcoin. So getting bearish on Bitcoin right now is like getting bearish on one of those 21-week EMA pullbacks in the previous bull run. Literally, when we had a pullback down to the 21, that's like getting bearish there when we still have 3,000% potential to the upside. I'm just saying. From a technical perspective, people need to calm down because a lot of these altcoins are just total shit coins. XRP and Ethereum being the top two behind that, of course, with Binance being an exception. Those two coins are still undervalued. They have much more room to the upside. Bitcoin's been overperforming. So now that we're seeing this huge trading range form in this area around 50,000, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see how Bitcoin pulling back so much can give such an awesome discount on some of these coins. And it's also awesome to see XRP holding support. Again, XRP being one of my top holdings, so when it does well, I'm happy. But I would love to see a bigger pullback in XRP before continuation, even though we're expecting new highs. So anyways, this video is running a little longer than I anticipated with that decode, but I hope all of you had an awesome time buying that pullback yesterday. I hope all of you who didn't take into consideration the things that I mentioned today about Elon Musk and his tweets have started to take it into consideration after today's decode. Again, I'm not here to convince anyone. I could care less what you think, but this guy is part of the brotherhood. His mom is too. And if you were an elite and really were doing so well in life, do you really think you need to read a script and act on Saturday Night Live? I don't think so. I think you would be in hiding right now somewhere on a private island, minding your own business. But instead he's reading SNL skit lines. He's an actor. He's an actor like they all are. They don't give a shit about you. All of the things they do in their personal time are probably the most evil ritual shit you could ever imagine. And they play your heartstrings with their social media accounts. That's all it is. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.